Hi YouTube! Today I'm going to be doing my video on Venus and Gemini. Now the Venus sign in a woman's chart is how she acts when she has a love interest, how she acts about to pursue something. And the Mars in her chart is what she finds attractive in a man. Yes, it's also the planet of aggression, anger, how you are when you're confronted, but we're talking in the love matters. The Venus is how she acts and the Mars is what she wants. Now in a man's chart, the Venus is what he likes in a girl and the Mars is how he acts because Venus is a feminine planet and then Mars is the masculine one. So the masculine traits of the Mars are going to be more prominent in the man and the Venus are going to be more prominent in the woman. So Venus and Gemini people are very charming, witty people. Like they're ruled by Mercury and their need to communicate is very strong. So they may have different interests, like a need for variety kind of. These are very hard people to tie down just because they can get bored so easily. They need like constant stimulation to keep them interested. And if you're not like this, they'll most likely move on. Their feelings can be very superficial at times. These people are like the Venus and Aries, where they can be very like teasing, they can be very charming. They may say things that they don't actually mean just to get what they want. They may sound insincere, and if they sound insincere, they most likely are. They are a natural flirt. These people need space in their relationships. They don't like when you're just glommed on together and that you're just in the house chilling all day. They need excitement and stimulation also. These are very curious people. So when they see someone that they like, they want to go pursue it. They want to go figure it out. So that's why they can get bored easily, because once they figure you out, then they'll move on to the next if you don't keep them interested. Venus and Gemini people can converse on multiple subjects. And if a man's Venus is in Gemini, then I think I said Venus and Aries by accident like a few sentences back. I'm sorry, I meant Venus and Gemini. So if a man's Venus is in Gemini, he most likely likes a woman that's intellectual, who's very can converse on multiple subjects, and someone that's very interesting, someone that like doesn't give it up very easily. You know, they may get bored of the chase though. Venus and Aries people might keep going for the chase, but when a Venus and Gemini gets bored of you, they get bored and they just move on to the next. But they might still string you along. They most likely will because they need in relationships, like if it ends, they most likely will want to be friends unless you really it really ended on a bad note, but they want to know that you're still friends with them because these people have a large network of friends and they like to add on to that because they aren't as emotional. They're more of like in the moment and all that. So they like stimulating relationships more than comforting ones. These aren't super lovey-dovey people and they aren't super affectionate people. Maybe they are depending on their other placements, but I'm talking about just the Venus and Gemini sign, and they need variety and their needs often change. Like one day they may be like, oh, this is what I like in a girl, but then the next week they're like, no, this is what I like in a girl or man or like whatever. You know, these aren't sentimental people. They can get over you really quickly. And they can also be very flighty and flaky in love, you know? One moment they're in love with you because their feelings may be superficial, and then the next they're bored and they want to move on. So yeah, they don't like to be tied down because of this. They always have their eye on something better. Something always intrigues them more and something always interests them more. Not to say that they can't be romantic, because they can, depending on their other placements. You really have to look at the whole chart. But they can also analyze the details in the relationships and analyze everything in the relationships and really see what's wrong and what's right, because if you aren't their dream person, they're constantly looking for someone to satisfy their need for stimulation and variety and change. So they have these ideas of what they truly want in a partner, and this can be it can be a lot in their imaginations. Like what they have, their expectations for a lover may be really high. So if they don't like you, they're not, if if they analyze it and they see that you're not what they like, they'll go find something that they like more, They analyze the details in the relationship and they see it and they're like, oh, maybe I don't want to be tied down to this person. They can be talking to a lot of people at once in relationships, These people can be cheaters also. Because and they'll probably, they're really good at convincing you that they haven't cheated on you, and most likely they will just admit it because they don't get so much as emotionally attached, They like you, but they like this person also. And these people, it's like they don't want to lose either because both of them stimulate something that they like. But they don't offer everything that they need. This is why these people can become cheaters, because there are multiple people that they are with, or the other person that they're cheating on offers them something that they like too. Not to say that you're not giving them something that they want. There's probably a conversation or multiple things that you can talk about that really interest them. But then this person over here is very interesting because has purple hair, or maybe she's more introverted, or maybe this one's more talkative. They like the variety, kind of. They just kind of want to try it out. They want to have a taste of everything, And a Venus in Aries is very hard they won't settle down very quickly. And if they are deciding to settle down, it's not going to be automatically. These people need some time to figure out what they want, really, because they have a quick attention span, kind of a small attention span. So they need to make sure you can keep them going and stuff, and they need to make sure it's something that fulfills them, fulfills their excitement and thirst for knowledge, because these people love smart people. They are attracted to someone that is very informative and that can expand their knowledge on things. And yeah. Oh, they also like manners. Maybe they might be attracted to someone that doesn't have manners, but for the most part, they are friendly people, so they want to be treated like a friend and stuff. So they like manners in other people, and they are most likely to lean towards partners that are very educated, very expansive in their knowledge, very expansive in their creative ideas, very expansive in their home life, or just in their own life. If someone has things constantly changing a lot, maybe one day they're working on this project and the next week they're doing something else, this might intrigue a moon in Gemini. Or if they have a lot of friends, they'll be attracted to someone that's very social, because most likely they'll meet the person that they like in a social setting, because these are ruled by Mercury, so communication and socializing is important for them. And these are the people that don't mind if you need to go do things by yourself. In fact, they like it when you have when you have a life going on also. They don't want to glom onto you and be together all the time. They want to go hang out with their friends, and they're probably totally cool with you hanging out with your friends, So yeah, they're not super jealous and possessive, but the way to keep a Gemini, okay, they move on quickly, but if you drop a Venus in Gemini without them knowing why, this is going to make them go a little like, why did they do it? They need to know why. They need to know like why did that person leave me? Why did they lose interest in me? You know, kind of like that. So if you drop them all of a sudden and say like, I don't want to do this, and you don't give an explanation, then yeah, they might move on quickly, but most likely they're still going to want to know why, and this is going to keep them going. Like their need to know and to figure out is going to be very stimulated by this. Yeah, and okay. They are bright and good natured. So these people always tend to be optimistic and they see the bright side in things, and they don't like people that are sad and gloomy and very emotional. This is a big turn off for them, you know? Someone that's always in their feelings and always wants to talk about their emotional problems isn't someone that they're most likely going to be attracted to, depending on where their Mars is. For the most part, yeah, they need flexibility in their relationships. These can be very flighty and flaky people. So if they need to go and if they can't make the plans that you guys planned, they need to know that you're okay with it. They need someone that's like, yeah, it's okay. Like we can meet up another time. I have something else to do other like they need you to be cool with it. They don't like very jealous and possessive people. It kind of makes them run because the thought of them being tied down and possessed scares them. So yeah, and they need people that are spontaneous. So they are most likely down to try anything. So if you say, hey, want to go to the beach? The most likely be like, yeah, let's go. You know, if you have a really fun and exciting idea for the first date, you need to hook these people the first time around, you know? Like, if you don't get their attention the first time, then they're not going to keep going after you. So yeah, so men with this Venus sign like women like that, and this is the Venus sign and the Venus Gemini sign. Here is how the woman acts. So everything I described is most likely how the woman would act when she likes a guy. She'll probably try to seem very smart, very educated, very like friendly, has a lot of friends, you know, that she might be very flighty and flaky, maybe a little bit dramatic at times depending. She may be very talkative. These people love conversations and they like people that they can talk about anything and everything to, like any topic really. Yeah, and they don't appreciate secrets that much. Okay. So they don't appreciate secrets. And yeah, like they want kind of an open and honest relationship about how you feel kind of, but who you are as a person can be kept a little bit secret because they like to like find your interest and kind of figure you out a little bit. So yeah, that's it for my Venus and Gemini video, and I'll see you guys in my next one.